guys, Sabrine here. Just wanted to come back as promised and do part 2 of my 5-part series on my trip to Ecuador. In particular, this video will be entitled, This is Not for Everyone. I repeat, the title of this video is This is Not for Everyone. And if you have not had a chance to watch part 1 of the 5-part series, please go back to my YouTube channel, my Facebook, and check it out. And see the amazing things that various individuals have done in order to contribute to me being able to travel to Ecuador. So again, approximately 3 weeks ago, I returned home back to the United States from Ecuador, and I actually went to visit 2 specific cities in Ecuador. I landed in Guayaquil, which is known as the financial capital of Ecuador. Even though Quito is the actual capital of the country, they consider Guayaquil the financial hub because that's where most of the ports are for import and exporting. And so I had the opportunity, of course, to visit Guayaquil and then actually go into the village of Santo Domingo de Onzale for 8 amazing days with some amazing individuals. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And so before I get into about the actual trip and the actual people that I had an opportunity to meet and impact, I wanted to really talk to you guys about something that was really pressing on my heart. In Matthew 28, Jesus said, "Go ye into the world and preach the gospel." And I think a lot of times people get stuck on the word world, thinking that they have to go to various countries, they need to go different places in order for them to witness. And to be honest, going into the actual world or going international is not for everyone. When Jesus talks about the world, he is talking about your community. He is talking about your city, your state, your country, your job, your gym that you may participate in. That is the world also. Those are the places that you travel to daily. Those are also places that you can impact and preach the gospel and truly live the lifestyle that Christ has called us to live. And so why I'm saying this is because a lot of people think that going overseas or traveling abroad is for them because they see it being commercialized, or they see the beautiful side of a country, but they don't tell you about the reality. And not to say the beautiful sides of the countries are not reality, but they never tell you about the areas in where there's no electricity, and where you're going to actually have to fetch your own water, and where there's no actual running water. And so the 8 days that I spent in Santo Domingo de Onzale, there was no running water. At least 3 or 4 of the days we had lost electricity for about half of the day. Of course, you have to sleep with mosquito nets, just to make sure that the mosquitoes don't bite you. And I didn't have a problem with it. Why? Because being born in Guyana and growing up in Guyana, there was times we had blackouts. There was times that, we had to fetch water because the water was either cold or you had to warm it up and different things like that. We had to sleep with a mosquito net because the mosquitoes were, prevalent at that time. And I didn't mind. So I think a lot of times people don't realize that the comfort and the luxuries that you're used to, it's not everywhere, and it's not in every country, and you have to be okay with that. And this is why I said this is not for everyone, and that is okay. Know your lane, know where it is that you decide to go. If you're used to having certain things when you're going on trips and different things like that, that's okay. I'm not knocking it, it's okay. But know that it's not always glitz and glamour when you go to various countries, especially those countries that are in desperate need of help, where it may be health-wise, where it may be just getting clean water, where it may be housing. The people living in various conditions that you're not used to, and that is okay. Just be be wise and do your research prior to you going and saying that you're desiring to do a mission trip, or saying that you're desiring to, I want to go help all the people all over the world. And that is great. You should have that earnest. You should have that gratefulness, and that desire to do that. But make sure that desire is God sent. And why I say that is this: your desire can be clouded by what you see and what it is that you think that is actually going to happen. It can be a figment of your imagination. And so you need to really truly seek God and ask him, do I need to go to these various countries, or do I need to just stay right here? Or where it is that you're leading me? Where is my world that I'm supposed to go into? So that desire, again, if you want to impact, don't find an organization to donate to. Donate to missions. Donate at your local church. Donate to the various organizations of people going out, such as Teachers to Teachers Global, or to the Unsele Project, the two organizations that I had the opportunity to actually work with. And so, again, I'm not trying to discourage anyone. If you want to travel overseas, go. But make sure that if it's a vacation, but if it's vacation, you're gonna have the best of the best, and you're gonna live your blessed life, as I like to call it. But if it is that you're going on a mission trip, know first off the history of where you're going, what it is that you're going to be doing. Understand where it is that you're going to be staying, because when you go on a mission trip, it's not like you're actually choosing, what it is that I'm going to do, where it is that I'm going to stay. You're going by what it is that actual organization has planned out. Okay. And even food-wise, I know I had a dietary restriction. For most of you, or if you don't know, I am actually vegetarian. And so having a dietary restriction was kind of hard in a country where, meat is king, literally. And so are bananas, because bananas is like the #1 produce in Ecuador. And so the meals that were prepared for us, you'll have rice and a meat, or lentil and a meat, or plantains and a meat. See where I'm going? There's actually really no vegetables. I think it was like the last 2 days that they finally made me like a vegetable salad. But I was okay with that because I understood their culture, and I did my best not to offend anyone. It was bad enough already that the king of food, meat, I wasn't eating it. So I had to make sure I didn't offend them in any other way. So rice is like a big thing for them. They eat every single thing with rice. I had rice and eggs one time. I had rice and lentils one time. I had rice and plantains one time. I had rice and salad. I had a lot of rice, and I had to really hit the gym when I got back. But, I was comfortable with that. I didn't mind that because first off, I understood where I was going prior to going. But again, I really, really want everyone to understand that the world is what is right around you. It is your surroundings. Again, the world can be Walmart. It can be your job. It can be Greensboro. It can be North Carolina. It can be the United States. Or it can be Ecuador. Or it can be, Colombia or France or China or Cambodia, wherever it may be. Just make sure that your desires are rooted in the things of God, and that when you ask God to show you where your world is that you're supposed to go into and preach the gospel, make sure that you understand that particular world, that culture, that environment, that atmosphere, so that when you do go in, your message, one, is received, and two, you actually can honestly say that my heart is poured out in love for each and every one of the individuals that I'm going to minister to. And I don't even have to preach to you. Just my genuine love to you and the way I carry myself, the life that I'm living, should be evident that there's something different about me. There's something inside of me that, that somebody else wants to grab hold into, and that is Jesus Christ. So I love you guys. I hope no one is offended by this video, but please hear my heart on this. Know that the Spirit of God really has been dealing with me to let everyone understand that, again, the world is not just international, but the world is right here around you. I love you. Look forward to video number 3 next Sunday. Hope to see you guys soon.